The annual White House Correspondents Association dinner is usually a night of jokes, journalism, and high society networking. But this year, the atmosphere at the Washington Hilton took a dark and terrifying turn when the sound of gunfire echoed through the halls. In a recent sit-down interview, Donald Trump provided a first-hand account of what happened inside that basement-level ballroom as security scrambled to protect him from an active shooter. While the world watched the breaking news reports of a gunman on the loose, Trump says he was experiencing the event with a sense of detached curiosity. He admitted that as the shots rang out, he wasn't particularly alarmed. In his own words, he wasn't worried, because he understands that we live in a crazy world. This mindset, however, created a unique challenge for the agents tasked with keeping him alive. As the situation escalated, Secret Service agents moved in to evacuate the former president. But instead of following the standard emergency protocols, Trump says his own inquisitiveness got in the way. He wanted to see the source of the noise and understand the nature of the threat. He admitted that he didn't make it easy for the agents, telling them to wait a minute while he tried to figure out if the sounds were just normal ballroom noise or something much more sinister. The tension in the room reached a breaking point when agents finally convinced Trump and his wife, Melania, that the threat was real. They were ordered to hit the floor immediately. Trump described the moment he and the former First Lady finally went down, before being whisked away to a secure area of the hotel. Outside the ballroom, a much more violent scene was unfolding. Law enforcement officers were engaged in a direct exchange of fire with the suspect, identified as 31-year-old Cole Thomas Allen. Allen, who traveled from California, was reportedly armed to the teeth. At the time of his arrest, police recovered a shotgun, a handgun, and a collection of knives. The suspect was eventually tackled and taken into custody, but the investigation into his motives was only just beginning. Federal officials have since indicated that the shooting appears to have been a targeted, politically motivated attack. Preliminary evidence suggests the gunman was specifically looking to harm members of the administration. Central to this theory is a 1,100-word document, or manifesto, signed by the suspect under an alias. The writings, which were sent to family members before the attack, were filled with vitriol against the current political establishment. The interview where Trump shared these details became notably confrontational when the discussion turned to the contents of that manifesto. When the interviewer began reading aloud the suspect's descriptions of Trump, using highly offensive and personal labels, the former president's demeanor shifted from calm to combative. He lashed out at the media, calling them horrible for repeating the claims of a sick person. He argued that such a disgraceful manifesto should never have been given a platform. The clash didn't end there. The conversation moved to the suspect's alleged involvement in political protests. Trump used the opportunity to fire back at how he is portrayed, stating that he isn't a king, but if he were, he wouldn't be dealing with the media at all. He criticized the press for being soft on crime and suggested that their coverage contributes to the rise of individuals like the shooter. Despite the harrowing experience and the clear security failures that allowed an armed man to get so close to a high-profile event, Trump is adamant that the dinner should not be permanently cancelled. He has called on the organizers to reschedule the event within the next 30 days. His reasoning is simple: he believes it is a sign of weakness to let a crazy person dictate the schedule of the country's leaders. While he claimed he doesn't personally need to attend and is very busy, he insists that the tradition must continue to show resilience. As the city grapples with the aftermath of the shooting, many questions remain. How did a man with multiple weapons get into the hotel during such a high-security event? What was the ultimate goal of his manifesto? And how will this change the way security handles high-profile public appearances in the future? For now, the story remains a chilling reminder of the volatility of modern politics and the thin line between a night of celebration and a national tragedy.